So I'm planning to talk more about your Tata Memorial experience than this, but yeah, I can touch that as well.
On the Tata Memorial, secretly, we've done some really smart tech for construction. So that's where we started testing imaging technology, where 3D scanners could do auto measurements. Of course, we started testing it 2.5 years ago. We've come a far way from there. But even in terms of how we manage the schedule was using 4D, 5D BIM without the 3D models.
Okay.
We emulated the Kobe of the 3D models, and that project was run with sort of as smart technology there is in execution at that time. Of course, like I said, we've come a long way from there.
Mm-hmm. So I think you and Dr. Lalit is now, I think, currently based out of Calcutta, but he also has stayed good number of years, at Mumbai. So you guys are kind of that way from the same city. Dr. Rana, Mr. Batra, myself, we are from Neeraj is from Delhi. So
we are from the city of small roads. Y'all are from the city of the massive roads. The traffic may be the same, but the width of the road, if it's anything to go by, y'all are the capital of the nation.
Yeah.
Capitals, as we paying now for the pollution levels. So people started running towards hill stations, trying to set up in what we're talking about, more sustainable environmental situations.
Yeah, I mean, that's one big thing that a lot of international conferences that I've been attending for sustainability are talking about. That large part of sustainability is to do with density of population. With work from anywhere or work from home coming in, at least the cities have an opportunity to reduce their density. So secretly, by reducing density, we are going to be more sustainable naturally as well. So fingers crossed, Delhi's density, when it goes down, God knows, your pollution is way beyond what density could probably do to it.
Sure.
You're
So
right.
Mr.
You're
Batra,
right,
Mr.
but
Batra, can you hear us? But I don't know whether Neeraj ji, you want to check with Mr. Batra if he's able to hear us or.
Yes, I'm able to hear you loud and clear.
Great.
You are able to hear me?
Yeah, pretty well.
Good.
So, when I must, on behalf of the organizers, must say sorry, this being organized on a Sunday. And that too in the afternoon. So you are in the middle of the day, not able to do much in the first half and not much on the second half as well. Although Raat Jawan hai abhi.
Welcome, Shamaji. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
Lalit
How
ji,
are you,
aapka mute hai
Manoj?
shayad.
Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Yeah,
you're audible.
Yes.
Perfect.
So good to have you here, because otherwise Akhil was feeling that it's a manel, not a panel. He's been harping all over the social media saying that this is a manel. I'm not coming.
No, I didn't. I'm not coming. I've got.
I'm kidding here. I'm kidding.
panel.
That he did it about 18, 19 years ago. She is, without meaning any offense, Shama, sorry. I mean, I'm just using a cheesy word, Nari Mukti ka some bachpan se, the empowerment of women is so central to whatever she does. Now she works with the Economic Development Board of Singapore. So every time I've been on a manel, she's teased me. So here we go. Hey, Shama, good to have you here.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Akhilji.
Shamaji, do you love to share your PPT? Do you want?
Can I share it through email to you, sir?
No. So, do you want to present the PPT, or you want us to, present the PPT, your PPT?
If you want, I can share it myself as well, or I can email it to you and then you can share it, whatever, the way you want. Or maybe, Neeraj ji, whatever is comfortable. I am also good with question answers. The way
Okay.
you run the show, I'm good with everything.
Okay. So what we are doing is, we are doing a 60-minute panel discussion kind of. So Manuji will ask the questions and it will be rotating from one to another. And he has some questions for you also as well. So it will be a question answer kind of. So I think there is no need for the presentation.
Done then. Neeraj, let's do that way only. I don't want to get out of the quorum you have drawn for everybody. So let's have it in that manner only.
Sure.
All right, done.
So, let me briefly explain the agenda and flow of the program, although we have just discussed. So, Rajneesh ji is just joining us, Rajneesh Agarwal. So, he will start the program and he will give you a little background of the program, that why we are organizing this program on this forum. So, GEM is basically the Green Building Certification Program of ASSOCHAM, where we certify the buildings as green rated. And today we are launching our GEM Green Healthcare Certification Reference Guide. So this guide will guide you that how we can design and construct our healthcare facilities as green and sustainable. And Manuji is the chairman of that committee who has prepared this reference guide. So we thought that this is a good time where we can launch this reference guide. So initially we will launch this guide. We'll just take 1 minute.
Sure.
Then Manuji will explain that, how this was evolved. Then we will invite Dharkar ji for his very encouraging address. Then Manuji will start the panel discussion. So this entire thing will take around 15 minutes. And then we will come to our panel discussion. It's a 60 minutes panel discussion. And then it will be a vote of thanks kind of. So, it is a 90 minutes program.
Neeraj, you want to have some question and answers if, the audience want to have something to be asked or addressed.
So I'll see, in the question answer session, I'll see if there are some questions. I will pass those questions to Manuji, and Manuji can, take those questions. So welcome, Dharkar ji. Welcome, Pankaj ji. Audible?
So,
Neeraj, good evening.
Good evening, sir. Good evening.
Manuji, good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening, Kaka. Many happy returns of the day to you.
And it's his birthday and anniversary both. So
thank you.
Double congratulations.
Congratulations, sir.
Many happy returns of the day and many congratulations to you.
Thank you, Shama. Thank you so much. And Manu is making my day very special by coming up with this new healthcare standard. So thank you, Manuji.
It's all because of your push and vision, Dharkar Saab.
No, it is your hard work, sir.
It is you who pushed us to do it. Otherwise, me and team were still lazing around and saying कि कोई नहीं कर लेते हैं.
A great vision, right?
Good evening. Sanjay ji, good evening. Batra Saab. Sir, Batra Saab, you are on mute. Batra Saab, you are on mute.
Okay, sir.
Okay, now?
Okay, sir.
Perfect, sir. Perfect.
You can hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely, sir.
Very good. So, Shama, how are you? Hello?
I'm great, sir. How are you? It's so good to see you on this platform, sir. It's an honor to share the platform with you.
Good.
And it's really an honor how you have worked with my father and now with me, with the new orders you have, entrusted me with. And it's really amazing how you have actually had a trust in me as well, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay.
बत्रा साहब के ब्लेसिंग्स जिस पे भी जाते हैं वो खुश नसीब होता है.
I'm sure about that, Kaka. because he has a extremely good vision and a very, very, very technical, impact in his projects. So it's really a blessing to work with him.
Sir has been always a trendsetter. We are all his.
Hi, good evening, sir.
Rajneesh, good evening.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, Batra sir. Good
Rajneesh,
evening,
Good
Manu.
evening.
It appears you are at Lodi Garden, huh? Or Rose
I
Park.
am somewhere close by. In fact, I am at the Humayun tomb. Can you
Okay.
see the background?
No, I specifically use the word Buddha Park and Rose Garden because
they
I
are
thought you were
notorious.
looking for birds out there.
No, I was out with the gathering. So I told Neeraj, I said I'll log in from there. So my voice is clear?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah,
How are you, Batra sir? कैसे
I'm
हैं,
fine.
So
I'm
you look
fine.
great, sir.
Well, thank you very much.
Darker sir, happy birthday and a happy marriage anniversary once again in person.
Mm.
Thank you, Rajesh. Thank you.
So,
Do we start?
yeah. It is 4 o'clock.
Hi.
Rajneesh ji, as discussed,
Sure.
करण जो है
Good to
अभी
go.
वेलकम स्लाइड लगाने के बाद आपको ओके बोलेंगे, then you will start and then we will launch the book. Once you announce, we will launch the book and then Manu ji will start.
Perfect. Wonderful.
So you will have to announce that we are launching, then we will start the video.
Perfectly well.
So करण आप स्टार्ट कर दीजिए और आप स्टार्ट बोलना, फिर रजनीश जी बोलेंगे. ओके.
I think Neeraj, we are live now.
Wait sir, wait.
अच्छा ऊपर लिखा हुआ आ रहा है live.
We are waiting for Karan's okay.
Okay.
करण आप बोलेंगे हम तब स्टार्ट करेंगे. Actually, we have to sync it with our platform which is running there.
Okay.
You will be able to share the link with everyone, right, after this event?
Yes.
Kim Chodharkar sir, I didn't get to say hello with everyone with your anniversary and birthday both being there. You deserve all the wishes that are coming through your way.
Thank you, Akhil. Thank you. Thank you. We must catch up sometime next week.
Absolutely.
You're live, sir.
Rajneesh ji, over to you.
Are we live now, Neeraj ji?
Yes,
sir.
please.
Yeah. Namaskar, dosto. Good evening. Welcome once again to this wonderful program. This is a series of seminars we are handling under the GEM Sustainability Rating System. And thank you everyone for joining us on a Sunday evening. Life has changed quite a bit. Now Sunday evenings are also attended by people very passionately. Online things have made a lot of difference in our life. Today we are here with you with a very beautiful program on designing green healthcare facilities. And with me, we have a lot of wonderful people with us. We have with us Mr. Pankaj Dharkar. Mr. Dharkar is the chairman, the founding chairman of GEM Rating System, which is started initiative of ASSOCHAM. We have with us Mr. Manu Malhotra. Mr. Manu Malhotra is an architect by profession, and he is currently chairing the healthcare rating system for ASSOCHAM. We have Mr. Lalit Verma. He's Chief of Projects at Woodlands Hospital, Kolkata. We have Dr. B.K. Rana. My apologies, Dr. Lalit Verma, I should have said. And Dr. B.K. Rana, CEO of Quality Accreditation Institute. we have Mr. Sanjay Batra. Mr. Sanjay Batra, I personally always like to call him the Bhishma Pitama of the healthcare engineering. And we have Mr. Akhil Ganatra. He's the director of, he's the managing director of Clancy Global Consultancy. And we have with us Shama Jainji, who's the managing director of KM Technologies, which is a truly Indian manufacturer for a lot of good engineering equipment, including chillers, heat pumps. And I welcome all of you on behalf of ASSOCHAM GEM. I am the chairman of Events and Expo, and we are doing a lot of such good initiatives, and we'll keep on coming back to you with a lot of such more programs. So today, before starting this program, I would like to share with you that we have a very special occasion today. We are launching our green rating system which has been exclusively designed for healthcare. And this is something which is very unique with a lot of hard efforts by the entire team headed by Mr. Manu Malhotra, and of course with the vision of Mr. Dharkar. We felt that there was a need of a special rating system for healthcare, because healthcare requires a lot of different approach. It is not a normal building. You have to be very, very accurate, and still trying to find an opportunity of making it a green project. So this requires a special handling. So we have come out with a healthcare rating system which is unique in the country. And I would now invite Mr. Pankaj Dharkar and Mr. Manu Malhotra to officially launch this rating system. Neeraj, first of all, should we play that video for a minute? And then I will invite Mr. Manu Malhotra and Dharkar sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, Rajneesh ji. Karan, please run the video, launch video.
Wonderful. So this is a cause for celebration today. A lot of hard work has gone into this rating system. And before I invite Mr. Dharkar, I would like to first hear from Manu. I would like to introduce Manu first. Manu is a wonderful, young, bright architect. And I think the most wonderful thing about having Manu as the chair for healthcare rating system is that he himself is so well maintained that every time we meet him, he looks a couple of years younger. So Manu is basically an architect by profession with about 20 years of experience behind him. Manu has a list of things which we should be sharing with you. Manu is heading a company called RSMS, which pioneers into architecture of healthcare. I have been lucky to have worked on a couple of projects with Manu, so I know the kind of passion he has towards working. And he does exclusively, majority of his projects are healthcare. Manu has been a member of IIA, and also he's also in the American Architect Institute. He has been a recipient of B.V. Doshi Excellence Award. He has written a number of articles in various magazines, and which are related to healthcare. He has really worked very hard. A couple of his projects are worth mentioning. Apollo was the first lead gold project in Uttar Pradesh. Rajiv Gandhi Cancer Institute was again one of the best healthcare designs given by the Zenith Confluence. Paras Hospital won an award by the Archi Design. Another trophy he got was for RGCI from the Fire and Security Association of India. And Manu, what would you like to say about this healthcare rating system that you have headed?
Please unmute yourself.
Thank you, Rajneesh, for the generous and kind introduction. And thank you everyone for investing time with us on Sunday afternoons, especially a large set of audience from medical fraternity. I see, despite their overworked schedule owing to current pandemic, they are here. GEM is a green initiative of ASSOCHAM to care for the Mother Earth. ASSOCHAM, the century-old organization, executes the GEM Green Building Certification Program for the sustainable design and development of the buildings. The objective is to ensure future buildings move towards environment-friendly methods of design, construction, and operations. And it became all the more apt for healthcare buildings because they are really energy guzzlers. GEM stands for Green and Eco-Friendly Movement. With this program, ASSOCHAM awards GEM rating building certification rating to the GEM compliant buildings. Since launch, GEM rating system has a rapid stride in green building sector, which covers many GEM certified green building projects across the country, with more than 800 plus GEM certified green building professionals. ASSOCHAM Green Building Council has regional chapters. It is growing quite rapidly. It has got regional chapters currently in Punjab, Rajasthan, UP, Gujarat, West Bengal, Karnataka, Maharashtra, and Chhattisgarh. And in some of the local building bylaws, like in Rajasthan, it has been recognized as equivalent to IGPC and other LEED certification for the additional benefits of FSI, etc. We have signed MOUs with NAREDCO, Indian Institute of Architects, FSAI, ISHRE, ASHRE India chapter, ASHRE Western chapter, Smart India Foundation, and some more organizations. In this context, Green Building Council is happy to launch the GEM Sustainability Certification Program for green healthcare facilities today in the presence of some of the top leaders of the industry. GEM Green Building Certification Program is based upon Bureau of Energy Efficiency ECBC 2017 and NBC 2016, which makes it a unique and comprehensive manual in itself and includes sustainability, energy and water efficiency, fire and life safety, indoor air quality, daylight, fresh air and human comfort, along with planning and innovation, simultaneously augmenting the healthcare policies of the country. Being the chairman of the Healthcare Committee, Rating Committee, would like to extend my sincere gratitude to the entire GEMS team for tireless working. And least can be said about Mr. Pankaj Dharkar. Without his vision, guidance, this was not going to happen, surely. And support from the team, I can name only few, but when the whole team worked really very hard. Mr. Sandeep Narang, Mr. Rajneesh Agarwal, dear Ashu and Kushagra, they have really worked quite hard. Mr. Neeraj Arora and Amit, I would really like to thank everyone to make this happen, and look forward. I would request everyone to have more and more hospitals getting rated with the GEM certification. I'm sure the team would strive for that. Thanks, Rajneeshji. Over to.
Thank you. So now, thank you, Manu. And I would now like to invite Mr. Pankaj Dharkar. Mr. Pankaj Dharkar is the president of Pankaj Dharkar Associates. Mr. Dharkar has been working in the field of engineering design for more than probably 35 years. He has completed more than 4,000 projects of all kinds and natures and sizes. And Mr. Dharkar has been the past president of ISHRE, the past national and international president of FSAI. He has been associated with the IPA. He has been associated with ASHRE. And of course, now we are very fortunate that he's heading and he's the founding chairman of GEM ASSOCHAM. Mr. Dharkar has done what probably took many, many decades for other rating systems to come to this level, what we have reached in just about 2.5 years. And when you work with him, you just find that how much more you can do within yourself and how much you can stretch yourself. So this is something we have learned from him. And today is a very special day. Not only we are launching this rating, but It is also Mr. Pankaj Dharkar's birthday and his marriage anniversary. So I take the privilege of wishing him all the best. And over to you, Mr. Dharkar, for your kind words and vision on this rating and this program, sir.
An entire team which has been tirelessly for that we come up with this standard for hospitals, rather healthcare facilities. It was our dream and also a vision because of post-pandemic situation. Hospitals, healthcare facilities have to really excel in many aspects than earlier situation. We have been learning a lot of new challenges, and we are very glad that all these new challenges have been very ably under the leadership of Manu have been captured in this standard, and eminent personalities like Sanjay ji, Akhil, Ajib, also Lalit ji and BK Rana ji, we will look forward for your valuable inputs as we move forward on this certification program. And we will look forward for critical comments, and we do believe that we need to constantly improve. We believe in dynamism, in improving our rating system. So we look forward for all of you who are attending. Please go through these new standards, suggest us. Every one of us is learning in these last 8 months very difficult things in life. So my sincere request, please go through this, suggest us, give us opportunities to certify your projects, so that also we will learn many new things of life which these 8 months have taught us. Friend, very quickly I will cover our rating systems and what we are doing. Of course, some of the points have been already touched by Manuji. So ASSOCHAM is with 4.5 lakhs members, with working towards creating a conducive environment of India business compete globally. So we have been currently headed by Mr. Niranjan Hiranandani, who is our president, and I am leading on the GEM certification program. So ASSOCHAM has taken this green initiative to take care of Mother Earth. Our programs can be downloaded. These are completely based, they are free for download. You can easily download. We are completely basing our program on ECBC 2017 and NBC 2016. And we do believe that these are two wonderful documents which Indian architects and engineers have given to the globe, not only to India. Our programs cover sustainability, energy, water efficiency, more green areas, air quality, daylight, fresh air, human. Also very important aspect, Batra Sahab, we also, it is the only first global system in the world which takes care of fire and life safety. We are hearing very nasty accidents, it's particularly in hospital segments. So this is something where we are working hand in hand with FSAI, and we are going to link our fire and Suraksha index with the certification program. Currently also we are giving appropriate credits for fire and life safety. So we do believe that buildings have to be energy efficient, but they should have very right indoor air quality, but they should also be secured and should be fire and life safety wise absolutely safe. All our rating system, we believe that will have a payback of less than 3 to 4 years, and we all know that buildings are created for 50 plus years. So it makes sense to go for sustainability and green features for all the projects. We are the unique certification agency which are monitoring the energy level, water consumption, indoor air quality from our central monitoring station in Delhi. So what we want to do, Batra Sahab, is capture this data and create a benchmarking for the future generation. Unfortunately, currently, we lack in benchmarking. Your hospital may have, Batra Sahab or Verma Sahab, but lot of projects, I would say 99% of the projects do not benchmark, do not capture these data which are scientifically recorded. So what we are doing a service in less than 20,000 rupees, that we are picking up this data, and we want to create this data and provide it to the next generation, the architects, the engineers, so that they can do the research work. Without a data, research cannot happen. Without the data, new products and technologies will not be really unknown. And therefore, this is something which is very unique we are doing. Which includes ISHRE, ASHRE, IQA. Especially this becomes important with respect to hospital, where we are working with international societies, Smart Habitat Center. We are also dealing with GACS, the Global Association of Corporate Services, who are facility management society. So we want that after the buildings are done, there is a right knowledge available with these facility managers so that they can maintain this building. We may design a right building, we may provide a good building, but they need to be maintained very rightly. We have been now approved by Rajasthan government, also by CRESIL, which is putting us aside alongside of USGBC, IGBC. And I again repeat, we are not here to compete with anybody. We believe that in 2000, 2001, Dr. Jain started green movement in the country with IGBC and USGBC. But if you see today, there are only 6,500 buildings which got registered. Only 2,500 of them got certified in 20 years. So we are here to create this movement taken to a next spirit. So we want to complement the good work being done by other societies. And we would like that thousands of buildings, lakhs of buildings should come as green building. In fact, any building constructed now on should be a green building. We are now currently certified right from pharma projects of Abbott to JK Cement plant to Siemens electrical and electronics giant to various universities across the country, including luxury brands of Hiltons and ITCs. As Manuji said, we have chapters in Punjab, Rajasthan, Gujarat, and during this digital world, we also went to UP, West Bengal, Karnataka, Chhattisgarh, and now by the year end, we will be there in 20 states. We did two important programs during this lockdown, one being creating the guidelines for government and union territories 29 for unlocking the what all engineering services should be taken care. And this was a fantastic document which was well recognized by the government of India, which we did with the help of ISHRE, FSCI, IMA, IPA, all societies, and ASSOCHAM took it to the government. The second program was retrofitting the old properties and inducing the new energy with energy efficiency, where we kind of propagated the performance contracting business, which we worked with World Bank and also Bureau of Energy Efficiency. We did 2 programs already. We are here to do next 3 programs. So we want to create this awareness where banking can come together with the industry and can green the current non-energy efficient building. We all know that 25 years back, the COP of chiller was 1.2. Today, we are talking about COPs which are gone down by energy consumption. We get chillers from 0.32 IPLV to 0.35 IPLV, which were in excess of 0.45. Huge technology change is happening, and we want these old plants to get replaced without cost to the owners. And this is something where World Bank is helping countries. B is coming forward. We want bank to communicate, and ASSOCHAM is going to work as a link for this business. Sir, we have done MOUs with 62 universities, and we do believe that tomorrow's generation, the architects and engineers, are the people who should get habituated to sustainability. And with that intention, in last 4.5 months, we have gone to 62 universities. Today morning only, I was so delighted when at 11:30, our young engineers and architects did the presentation, and it was phenomenal. The new students of 4th year, final year have been talking about sustainability, and it was very, very inspiring. So we want to really inculcate into them so that tomorrow's engineers don't have to be taught with the technologies. When they come out of their universities, they are ready to be used by the industry. We have a vision by December end, we should go to 100 universities. So this 7 days, we are focusing on several subjects. Like today, we are addressing hospital, healthcare industries. We have more than 120 speakers coming on the GEM forum, with 10 countries getting participation. And I'm very pleased to see that more than 70,000 people registered in GEM program in last 6 months time, with more than 50,000 plus attended and took advantage of it. And we did more than 60 webinars in these days. So we are looking forward for complementing the Prime Minister's dream to create a sustainable and green and environmental country. And I'm really once again thanking you, sir, all the eminent speakers who have taken out time on Sunday evening. I was discussing with Manu why we are trying to do this, and all of you have been so busy, dedicated to the society. You are doing extraordinary work for the country and the society. So thank you, Mr. Verma. Thank you, Mr. Rana. You have been fantastic. I went through your profile and saw the way NABH has come up. I think you have a great contribution there, Rana Saab. Thank you so much. And my colleague friend Akhil has been doing fantastic MEP design work. So thank you, Akhil, for sparing your time. And of course, as Rajneesh rightly said, Sanjay ji is our Bhishma Pitama in hospital. He has been earlier in hospitality and now in hospital. I think fantastic work being done. And of course, I see very happy. I see whenever I see Kshama working tirelessly and following her father, it is so inspiring when we see youngsters doing such fantastic job coming, and she's proud of Make in India. So best wishes to you, Kshama, and best wishes to all of you. And thank you so much for joining GEM platform. Thank you. Thank you, Rajneesh.
Thank you, Darkar Saab. Thank you so much for your very, very encouraging and energetic message, sir. You put lots of energy in your presentations always. So, I mean, this is a learning for all of us. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Now, I would request Manu ji to please moderate the session and take the program forward. Over to you, Manu ji.
Thanks, Neeraj. I would like to thank ASSOCHAM GEM for organizing the panel discussion on the most relevant topic for discussion, that is designing green healthcare facilities the way forward. As called by Honorable Prime Minister, India as an economy is moving towards being Atmanirbhar, that is both self-reliance and self-sufficiency. Similarly, we are responsible leaders of the industry need to make our buildings also self-reliant and self-sufficient. Today, we have an eminent panel of subject matter experts to discuss an important topic of designing green healthcare facilities, where we'll be talking about the big trends one need to keep eyes on that could have direct impact on the revenues, patient outcomes, and simultaneously be responsible in using our resources. The discussion becomes even more relevant today as through responsible in using our resources discussion with specific healthcare rating program of ASSOCHAM GEM. Our goal today is that whatever your role is in the healthcare industry, that you will take away something, a new idea, a fresh perspective, a new strategy that one can apply in the setups you are running or associated with or planning to come up with. Without taking too much of time, I would dive into the panel introduction. I would like to start with Dr. Lalit Verma. Dr. Lalit Verma is an accomplished and eminent hospital design and construction professional with over 35 years of experience and having been involved in more than 50 healthcare projects of varied nature. He is currently Chief of Projects at Woodlands Multi-Speciality Hospital, Kolkata, an alumni of Punjab University, IIM Bangalore, BITS Pilani, and Symbiosis International University. He is also an IGBC accredited professional. Dr. Lalit has played a pivotal role in reinventing healthcare design ideologies. He has brought about a radical change in the design process of hospitals by bringing in newer planning strategies with his extensive research and analysis in the field, contributing to the delivery of quality healthcare. Dr. Lalit has been associated with leading organizations, namely United Breweries, Wockhardt, Reliance Industries, and extensive work with Apollo Hospitals. He has played a key role in designing India's first proton center in Chennai, which is one of its kind, and India's first IGBC Platinum rated hospital in Mumbai, Navi Mumbai. Dr. Lalit is an author of course material for Symbiosis International University and is an expert faculty at Tata Institute of Social Sciences, Mumbai. A very warm welcome to you, Dr. Lalit.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, Manu.
We'd like to welcome Dr. Rana. Dr. Rana is the CEO of Quality and Accreditation Institute and former director and CEO in charge of NABH, Quality Council of India. He has served as a board member of the International Society for Quality in Healthcare. He has served as the president of the Asian Society of Quality in Healthcare, ASSOCHAM, and currently serving as the member of the board. He was elected chairman of Accredited Council of ISQA. He is founding member of the International Academy of Quality and Safety. He is an international consultant and expert for the WHO, World Bank, ADB, USAID, and several other national and international organizations. He has expertise in establishing healthcare and laboratory accreditation bodies, implementing quality management systems, accreditation requirements, and standard developments in the field of quality improvement and patient safety. He holds a PhD in biochemistry, diploma in German, and a postgraduate diploma in hospital and health management. He has published 12 research papers in international journals, contributed doing different things, contributed in various chapters in books, and presented in several national and international conferences. His passion of doing different things differently keeps him motivated to innovate and create new standards and programs. Welcome, Dr. Rana.
Thank you so much, Manu, for a generous introduction. Thank you very much.
Mr. Sanjay Batra, a very warm welcome to you, sir. A mechanical engineer from IIT Delhi with 50 years of varied experience, 5 years in the fertilizer industry, 14 years in the tire manufacturing industry with Goodyear India, 16 years with hospitality with Oberoi's Group, as vice president and senior vice president responsible for constructing 15 five-star hotels from concept to commissioning. From last 15 years in his current role as project director, he is responsible for the construction and commissioning of 1,200-bed multi-speciality tertiary care hospital with a built-up area of 2.4 million square feet. Presently responsible for the construction of a 1,000-bed hospital in Lucknow and a 700-bed hospital in Patna. Both, I think, are nearing completion. Although currently he is responsible for concept to commissioning of project, his special interest, as we all know, lies and continues to be in electromechanical services, energy management, and green buildings. Akhil Ganatra, the lesser I say about him, the better it is. But as the principal founder of Clancy Global, has over the last 15 years established the practice as a first-generation built environment consultant. He has spearheaded the organization to achieve service capabilities across an array of verticals with building services and tech-enabled construction management across domains such as healthcare, mixed-use developments, institutional and residential, among others. Under his leadership, Clancy Global has completed 300 million square feet, over 700 projects, and in 58 cities, 58 cities across 5 countries. Standing among the top 10 practices in India, his company is also credited with the design of one of the first certified green buildings in India. He is intuitive and skilled and taking up new challenges to manage tight deadlines and cost efficiency, applying innovative framework and technologies for consistent deliveries and volumes. Their key projects include Tata Cancer Center Hospital, Breach Candy Hospital, Cloud9 Hospital, Reliance Hospital, Manekji Copper School, and many more. I think we'll get to hear more about his experience at Tata Hospital, later today.
Thanks for the introduction. It has so little longer always helps.
It is difficult to introduce such mega stars with a brief introduction. So, Ms. Shama Jain, Managing Director of KHEMS Technologies Private Limited, formerly Crystopia Energy Systems India Private Limited, completed her formal education at Essex University, UK. After her training in UK and exposure to international business and management techniques, she joined then Crystopia Energy Systems, headed by her father, Mr. D.K. Kemkar, in 2001. In 2014, she was appointed as CEO of the company and soon put an imprint of her dynamic leadership in company's operations. She was instrumental in development of new range of machines to meet the dynamic market needs. She played an important role in acquisition of shares of the company owned by SEAT Trans, a subsidiary of Carrier. In April 2018, she was appointed as Managing Director to take full charge of the operations of KHAMS Technologies Private Limited, now a completely Indian company, as was talked about by Mr. Dharkar. Under her leadership, KHAM Technologies Private Limited is showcasing the most energy efficient chillers, heat pumps, and thermal storage system of international standards in the world market. I once again welcome you all for an interactive panel discussion. So, so our goal today is that whatever your role is in the healthcare industry, Neeraj, how much audience do we have now?
So we have approximately 300 plus numbers. So it's amazing at Sunday evening. I'm really surprised.
And we
so
do
our goal today is that whatever your role,
live on Facebook and other social medias also. So it is great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just live on social
Eminent
media.
speakers, I think eminent people here we have. Yeah.
So our goal today is that whatever role is in the healthcare industry, that we have something to take away. Moving back to the subject, we will limit our discussion to sustainability and green concepts related to engineering design, architectural design, and construction, and how can we integrate the same with the accreditation program. In a typical healthcare facility, lighting, water heating, and space cooling accounts for more than 65% of the energy consumption. So what advice the eminent panelists would like to give to the hospital owners, designers, newcomers? So I would like to set the tempo and take the discussion forward. Would like to start with Dr. Lalit Verma. Would like to hear from you on your experience of being in leadership role for the country's first IGBC platinum rated certified hospital. How is it different than the other usual things which are done in the hospital setup and the other, gold certified buildings you have been associated with? Dr. Lalit Verma.
Yeah, thank you, Manu. When we started our journey with Apollo Hospitals, Navi Mumbai especially, we did not plan to go in for any, certification. Though energy efficiency was on top of our mind, energy, water efficiency was on top of our mind because it's a running cost for the hospital. So it makes sense to keep that as low as possible. That's how we started. And then I got an opportunity to be a member of the technical committee of IGBC when they came out with the healthcare rating system. So I was a part of the panel. So then that got me some interest. I thought, let me take this up as a challenge, and it should be the first building, first hospital which should be rated. And we did not need to do anything. We did not spend 1 rupee extra on achieving, except for the fees. Don't count that in. On the infrastructure, we did not spend even a rupee extra. Whenever I talk about green buildings, if you're going to design a building, I say it comes at zero cost. So energy efficiency, these are very simple things. I think everybody knows about it. It's about your efficiency in all your electric equipment, LED lighting, natural day lighting helps you to reduce the lighting, staircases, lift lobbies, if they have natural light, you don't need to have the lights on 24 hours. So you need to look at these places to try to bring in as much natural light as possible. Many times we don't have a choice on the direction of the building. A lot of people talk, how do you orient the building? But in Mumbai, you don't have a choice. You have a plot, you have no choice. So you need to live with that. So energy efficiency was the easiest. Water efficiency, again, is a very easy part. It's just low flow fixtures, and our main focus was on connectivity to nature, getting as much as natural light. Each and every corridor had a window. So you don't need lighting in the corridor during the daytime. Patient rooms had enough light, nurse stations had enough light. So we try to reduce our lighting cost by having as much as natural light as possible. Of course, not to that limit that it brings in too much of heat also. There's a downside to that also. Your air conditioning cost does go up. That was one thing. A lot of use of colors, acoustics, innovation in design. So we focused more on those aspects because energy efficiency and water efficiency was already there with us. So part of the IGBC, it was, it was very easy also for me. So we focused more on the other parts of it. And, we have been doing this. I have been doing this since the year 2000 in all my projects, energy efficiency, but we never went in for any kind of rating.
Great. Great, Dr. Lalit. I think it's a good insight that, you get to have savings at no extra cost. I mean, that's the takeaway, I would say, with your experience.
Absolutely.
Mr. you have been instrumental in developing mega medicities projects across the country. What is your experience and how you do energy management in your projects? Dr. Batra? Neeraj, is Dr. Batra here?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Please speak, Dr. Batra.
You can hear me?
Yes, sir. Please
Yes,
speak.
sir. Yes, sir.
All right. This discussion, we have very experienced architects here. And so I would like to split this business of energy conservation or energy efficiency into two parts. One part is the architectural portion, which there are architects here who are very well equipped to handle it. However, I will just list some points that when you, like Dr. Lalit said, you don't have a choice sometimes on orienting the building. There's a plot and that's all this is, you have to build it, okay. But if there is a choice, the architect should orient it where they get maximum daylighting. But when you start the building specifications, first thing I have learned, and it has paid me a lot of dividends in terms of energy efficiency. I don't know, we have not applied for a rating, but I can guarantee, and I'm sure if we apply for a rating, we'll get the highest rating. Our energy consumption, our electrical consumption is 2.8 watts a square foot. Normally the design is 6, 7, 8 watts a square foot. We are at 2.8 watts a square foot. Our HVAC, we are doing 540 square feet per ton. All the essay, they design at 300 square feet per ton. We are running at 540 square feet per ton. So we must have done something there. So I'm just going to go step by step. In terms of architecture, we must have the roof properly insulated. There is no question of not insulating your roofs. Large roofs, we have done very extensive insulation. Then you paint the roof with a white color which is reflective. And this is made by a lady in Ahmedabad. So reflective paint, insulated roof, and the exterior wall of double glazing. In our case, in Vedanta, we use double glazing argon filled, and the external no bricks, all block work, 8-inch thick block work. So you are reducing the heat which is coming in. And very rightly, Lalit has said, natural light in the corridors, windows in the corridor, nursing station, patient rooms and all that. So from the architectural point of view, you can save the heat ingress into the building. That is one. But when you come to the MEP services, that's where the big money is. That's where you can save, because that's where you guzzle the money. So there are things which we have done here, and we have done it progressively. It was not part of the design. Spectral services, God bless Dr. Who had designed it. I don't want to say anything. Dr. Jain, he's excellent person, my mentor. But the design was not what we are today. Today, we have cut down the consumption dramatically by doing a lot of things. So we can do a lot of things. So I'll mention 4 or 5 big things. In terms of water conservation, you have to recycle and reuse your water. We should aim at trying to be a zero discharge facility. And I can tell you it's very, very, very difficult. Medanta is a zero discharge. We don't have a sewage connection. We don't have no connection at all. And it's very easy to say on paper, zero discharge, but it doesn't work. Okay? Then, where do you use low flow fixtures is common, flushing, recycle, reuse, flushing water, cooling tower makeup of STP, ETP, treated water, horticulture, all that is very standard now and everybody uses it. So, low flow fixtures. We were using fixtures of 10 to 12 liters of flush. Now we are using 3 to 5 liters of flush. Now we changed all of them and then brought them down to 3 to 5 liters of flush. When you come to HVAC, 45% to 50% of your electricity is consumed by these chillers. So 50%, if you can look at the HVAC, and it's not very difficult. You don't have to go to every room. You don't have to go to every fan coil. You don't have to go to every HU. Look at your chillers. Select the right chillers with the proper IKW per ton. But if you have to retrofit, like we have retrofitted, we retrofitted all our chillers with VFDs. We retrofitted all chillers with VFDs, so it runs only to the extent that you need. One big thing in hospitals, today we are talking of hospitals, okay? One big thing in hospitals. Never combine your chiller for the general air conditioning and OTs, because OTs will run only from 6, 7 in the morning till 8 at night, that's it. And then they shut down. And the whole building runs 24/7. Biggest mistake people do, they have a common set of chillers from which the chill water goes to the OT and also to the building. Now look what happens in the winter. I don't need air conditioning in Delhi, let's say. Temperatures are down, building is on heating, but my OTs require air conditioning. And you are running an 800-ton chiller to feed 10 OTs. Can you imagine? So separate your OT chiller, chill water system from the main building system. That is one thing which we did, and there's a tremendous saving. Never combine the two. And most hospitals, 99.9% is a common chill water system, both for OTs and for the main building. So separate those two. So these are the kind of small things which you can do. Now take a very simple, your chillers, the efficiency, you've selected a good chiller, you put in a VFD, which is very good, but the tubes are getting dirty. You're not getting the same IKW per ton on month 1, month 2, month 3. It starts deteriorating. So what do? So you have to shut them down, clean the rod the tubes. Don't do that. Put in a small automatic tube cleaning system. This is a very cheap system, retrofittable on every chiller. These are all rubber balls which pass through the tubes in and out every 15 minutes and keep your absolutely clean. So your efficiency remains where it is. There are some other things. What you can do is on terms of, let's say, air handling units. I have done a lot of experiment on air handling units. And then we have come to a conclusion that if your AHU motor is above 7.5 kilowatt, there you can put a VFD. Below that, it doesn't make sense. Because any investment on energy saving has to have a payout. I don't do anything with a payout which is more than 3 years. Forget it. We will not invest if the payout is more than 3 years. So that's my cutoff. So any above 7.5 your motor, put in a VFD. And now what we have done, we have put in UV tubes on all the air handling unit coils. Otherwise, the coils get dirty, get mucky, and then the heat transfer does not take place, the efficiency is lost. So there are UV tubes which are just emitting UV lights on the coils, and the coils remain clean. You see the coil after 1 year, it's as clean as you put up the day one. So heat transfer remains the same. So there are a lot of these small things. Power factor improvement is another one. So we can go on and on and on. I have a huge list which we have done to bring it down to 2.8 watts a square foot and 540 square feet per ton. So that's all I have to say. Anything else?
Great, Mr. Batra. Great, Mr. Batra. What is your experience on this, Dr. Lalit? In terms of lighting and air conditioning, what special have you done at Navi Mumbai for this?
See, what has been told by, what you call Dr. Batra, practically everything what he has said, we have been, it has been done. In summers, if you stop the heat from entering the building by having a reflective roof or having an insulated external wall, it helps a lot. In our case, we used glazed tiles on the roof. We did not, use any paint because it's not permanent. So we used, glazed tiles, white color, and high efficiency chillers, UV lamps and coils. Literally everything what he has said. We covered almost everything.
Great. Mr. Batra, I mean, any difference in addressing this from tier 1 to tier 2 cities, because you have been involved with the projects in Patna, Lucknow, and of course, Delhi NCR. From cost involved as first cost in the form of capex and second cost in the form of operational efficiency it brings versus its payback, as you said, that more than 3 years ROI is something which you do not consider. So any difference between, projects from tier 1 and tier 2?
Look, tier 1 and tier 2, no. Tier 3, yes. Because tier 3, the income or the cash inflow is much lower than in tier 1, right?
Yeah.
So there, you have to keep the project cost down. That becomes a big challenge. You have to keep the project cost down. You cannot go to the level of project cost we have in tier 1. So there you have to compromise on certain things. I mean, then you have to choose what should you do, what should you not do. If something is costing a huge, we won't do it. So because the income is not there. The hospital has to sustain. There's no question that the hospital cannot sustain. The hospital has to sustain. And we have to keep like Patna's project cost. If you say per room cost here and per room cost Gurgaon, big difference. We have to keep it down. There's no question of having the same cost here and the same cost there. So we have to look at things and choose. Here we may do imported things. We will import the OT lights. We will import the pendants. Then we will not. Then we'll go local. Okay, they are not as good, maybe, but they work. So we'll have to pick and choose. We'll have to go for local chillers. We will not go. We will go for CAMs. We will not go for import them from US or wherever. So that's how you have to keep the cost down. But essentially, principles are the same.
Thanks, Dr. Batra. Thanks, Mr. Batra. Dr. Rana, I mean, we would like to hear, what do you think is the role of accreditation in promoting concepts of green healthcare? I mean, in your experience, how would you kind of integrate accreditation and green healthcare together?
Yeah, thanks, Manu. First of all, thank you for giving me this opportunity among the great leaders in this field of building designing. Pardon me for my low voice because of difficulty in breathing. So if you look at any accreditation standards world over, whether it is national NABH, NQAS, JCI, QAI, anyone, we will find there are certain components which are related to environmental health. When I say environmental health means how we make sure that the hospitals are minimizing use of energy, either using daylights, how they are minimizing their waste. So again, utility. So in other words, how hospitals can work on meeting certain requirements which make them more environment sustainable and resilient. Moving toward green healthcare, moving towards minimizing waste, increasing the efficiency, because in hospital, which is a complex environment with different zones, high risk zone, low risk, medium risk, and different people walking around with different purposes. It's really important that how we, as a hospital administrator or designer, make sure that these buildings are also become more sustainable. So, in a sense, accreditation standards does touch upon some of the components of green healthcare. But as you know, everything is not built in everything.
Great.
As I always give an example. When you, yeah, please.
No, please carry on. Please carry on, Dr. Rana.
So it's like, somewhere you have to start, but you cannot achieve everything unless you have a focus approach. It's really good to hear that launch of your GEM green certification for healthcare facilities. It's really a great initiative because the buildings are enormous in number. We talk about human population, it's similarly the buildings. So I think it's a great initiative, and accreditation standards does support this, but I think it need a lot to be done. You're muted, Manu.
Sorry.
Manu, you're mute.
Yeah, am I okay now? Do you think specific accreditation standards are required? If yes, how they can support this momentum?
Yes, I think that's a very good question, and in my opinion, yes. As you know, when someone graduate with an MBBS degree, is licensed to practice medicine, in India. But that's not sufficient to go as a pediatrician or a gynecologist. So he or she does MD or MS, and then if he done suffice, he go for MCH or further degrees on super specialties. Similarly, specific standards are required for a specific focus. So hospitals have a lot of activities. Some have, say like dialysis program, IVF program, maybe many other nursing excellence program. So they are targeted interventions for improving one specific sector. So green healthcare is itself is a very specific area which takes care of entire organization, but it requires a very focused approach. And I think I'm really very happy, and I'm even surprised and honored also is put together to know about the launch. In fact, in July 2019, last year, QI has launched accreditation standards for green healthcare facilities, and which we have developed in association with HELP. HELP is Health and Environment Leadership Platform, which is a organization set up by Public Health Foundation of India, PHFI, Global Green Healthy Hospital, GGHH, and Healthcare Without Harm, HCWH. So these three organizations come together, set up HELP, and HELP and QI has developed accreditation standards for green healthcare facilities. July 19, we have few hospitals already applied. We have been slow in publicizing it, and it is very good to see, as you mentioned, why it is required a specific standard, because they focus on that. Say, for example, these standards has a framework which covers like governance and leadership, which means how the leaders are responsible, how the leaders are interested to make it happen. Site selection criteria for a new facility. If there is an existing facility, if you want to expand, what criteria for site selection? Indoor air quality, energy and ambience of entire infrastructure within the facilities, water use, as previous experts talk about proper use of water, how to minimize waste of water, minimize things. Biomedical waste is a huge task. You get a lot of biomedical waste now, like COVID-19, very dangerous biomedical waste, lot of plastic and everything. So how you dispose these of? Green housekeeping. What are the chemicals you use for cleaning? Whether they are low emitting, carbon emitting things, or they are volatile carbon, VOCs, volatile organic carbon. So how you decide when you procure, and procurement of materials and resources. So these are the framework which we have inbuilt into these accreditation standards, which takes care for everything from starting from the leaders itself, because they have to decide. Nothing will happen in any institute until the leadership makes a decision that we want to do it. We want to make it a sustainable, environmental sustainable institution. We want to make an environmentally resilient healthcare facility. Then only it can happen.
True. So, Dr. Rana, what do you think? What is the way forward to integrate green healthcare into health systems?
Manu, that is the most important and crucial question you ask. Thank you very much. And I think this is the today, this platform is very important to make it happen a roadmap. Very happy to see the JAM Council of ASSOCHAM launching these rating for healthcare facility. And my sharing is about accreditation standards. There is a synergy. There is a
Yeah.
synergy. What I see is that the collaboration is the key. Like Rajneesh was mentioning in opening remarks, then Lalit sir mentioned, Batra sahab mentioned very clearly about it. And then we talk about that how 60 universities have signed up, 100 universities are a target. So it's a huge task in India itself. Go beyond India, it's become more and more multiplied. So if 10 organizations even work for the same thing, you will not be able to achieve in 10 years. So I think collaboration is the key of like-minded individual professionals and like-minded organizations. And to create the awareness in the education, until unless awareness or education is created in these healthcare facilities, nothing will move. So we all have to come together, think similarly, create a roadmap, go into the field and execute it without thinking that we are competing. No, it's not about competing. It's competing about the good for the Mother Earth, competing about the betterment of the future generations, which we are expecting in time to come. Otherwise, they will also be, talking about where is the drop of water, where is the fresh air. Can I buy the oxygen cylinder from Australia? Can I buy a pure bottle of water from America? We will be searching for those. Why? We have resources. We have tremendous human resources, capital, which have tremendous knowledge, and we have now standards. We have mechanism. Let's make it.
Yeah.
Let's make it together. Thank you
Thanks,
so much.
Dr. Thanks, Dr. Dr. Verma, I mean, taking this cue forward from what Dr. Rana just mentioned about, excess use of water and, other resources during this pandemic time. How are you guys addressing this in your facilities? Constant washing of hands. I know that it is a clinical requirement. It was a clinical requirement all the while, but I'm sure it has increased substantially. So how are you managing the water efficiency in your facilities?
See, we have seen increase in water consumption, since the pandemic started, mainly because of more and more people getting into hand washing. And of course, you need to clean up your hospital. Patient comes in, the cleaning has to be more particular compared to a normal case. Honestly, we have no choice in this. Today, we have a very old hospital here. We are in the process of upgrading this hospital and bringing up to later standards. So we hope to do a lot at that time. Here we are just managing. Biomedical waste is definitely a huge problem, but that is disposal is outsourced. So I think this becomes more of a problem for those agencies who are disposing it.
Okay. And how about Mr. Batra? How are you addressing this, with your vision of zero discharge facility? Hello.
Zero discharge is very, very difficult. In summers, there is zero discharge, okay?
Okay.
Because my cooling towers are taking up the maximum water, which is recycled, reused, treated, and goes into the cooling tower and evaporates. As the chiller load comes down in the winter, the chiller starts shutting down. That major 30% of the water which was evaporating is no longer evaporating. So now that's available. Now that becomes a challenge where to dispose it. So fortunately, we have a lot of horticulture area. We do that, and we have started giving the treated water to neighboring places they don't have water, societies. So we said, all right, we have some surplus water. You need water for your horticulture. This is treated water. You can test it, check it. It's as good as drinking water. Please, you can take it from us. We will not charge you. So we started giving societies nearby who are wanting water. So during the winter, when the cooling tower is not evaporating the water into the atmosphere. So that's how we are zero discharge.
So how do you address
zero discharge? See, you're consuming like we are consuming 8 lakh liters of water every day. 8 lakh liters,
Wow.
of which 3 lakh liters evaporates in the cooling tower. In the winter, when the load comes down, the 3 lakh liters becomes 1 lakh liter. So the balance 2 lakh liters, where does it go? That, and I don't want to discharge it. So we treat it to an extent that it's usable by societies all over the place.
And how do you use the RO discharge?
RO, see, firstly, RO requirement is very small. RO is only used in where is RO used? R is used in dialysis or RO is used in the CSSD. That's the small quantity of RO, which discharge comes back into the STP because our STP is, as I told you, huge STP, 1.2 MLD. So in that little bit of RO discharge gets absorbed. There's no question. We don't discharge it separately.
Okay. Great, Mr. Batra. Akhil, you bring in immense experience in steel buildings, and how do you think best construction practices in order to build sustainable hospitals from construction standpoint? How about your experience with Tara Hospital at Varanasi, which was built in around 10 months? We would like to hear something from you on this.
Thanks, Manu. It's great to hear from everyone. Before I speak a little bit on the Tata Hospital,
Akhil, I mean, it's no fun to hear you without seeing you. So I would like to see you as well.
my camera is on,
I somehow can't see you. I don't know.
and I'll stop my video and try starting it again.
Yeah, I can see you.
Because with your speech, your emotions need to be seen, right?
Yeah,
Can you see now?
can see well.
Everyone can see me, I'm expecting.
Yeah.
Great. So before I move to Tata, it's important the conversation today to set context. When we are talking about sustainability, like Mr. Batra said, and also Pankaj sir touched upon it, it's about the life cycle of an asset. The time it takes to build an asset is very short in context to the 8 to 10 times that it's going to sell. So there's a lot of data analytics which Mr. Batra is taking the benefit of and ensuring that through the journey of an asset, you're being able to reduce energy consumption. Now, again, sort of before I go to Tata, sustainability came from the context of our future generations or mankind to be able to use the earth. And before we started this chat, I was saying that smart infrastructure has also come with a very similar context. It's come with the context of humans becoming more efficient, productive, and having a much better experience in their life. Rajni joined us from an outdoor location, which is representative of the fact that you can work from anywhere. So, the context that we are working with at its bare shells level or bare bones level is still that. Now, with Tata, you spoke about steel structures. There is, of course, the concept of embodied energy, which we've not spoken about just yet, where all the materials that we use to build and to operate an asset have an impact on the environment. So the steel structure today has 50% less embodied energy than concrete. It gets built faster as well. And it's much more modular. So, when we started the Tata project, effectively it took 12 months because it was 2 months of design and 10 months of execution. But when we started it, the conversation like typically in India starts कि excavation तो चालू कर दो, फिर देखेंगे क्या, फिर foundations तो डालना चालू कर देंगे, फिर सोचेंगे क्या करना है. So what we did is we reversed that entire equation, which is not unusual to find globally, is that you spend your time in planning properly. So we used a bulk of dry and modular technologies. Even when I was touching upon smart, and smart will be during design, smart during execution, and smart during operations in that context. When we mapped the project, we had a big challenge of BIM being run only by 3D. And everyone having a blog that 4D, 5D BIM, which is much more efficient in tracking a project, cannot be implemented without it. And with the time that we had, and whoever may have implemented 3D BIM so far would have seen, and we've tested it with 15 projects, takes 7 to 12 times more to build that model. And drawings issued at site are still 2D. So we created a COBE, a data structure of the 3D information, and ran 4D, 5D BIM. There we even use 3D scanners to sort of testing in terms of whether we can get remote visibility. I'm happy to report that 2.5 years ago it was very difficult to do, but today it is very easy to do. So in context of the journey of sustainability now is married to the journey of the digital world, even in terms of remote analytics with facilities, even with regards to support being provided to them. So that's sort of our two pieces in terms of how the construction industry can benefit from sustainability and smart. It has to be done at 3 levels: design and planning, execution, and then operations. One last point I want to mention, especially taking on from what Mr. Batra said, and he rightly said so, that you divide sustainability into two parts. One is your architecture, or what we call passive engineering.
Passive, true.
When we were in the UK, sustainability 15 years ago was not an option, it was a regulation. So we had to reduce 50% carbon dioxide emissions from buildings every 4 years. So when you look at the architecture part of it, it's not that far from engineering, I'll tell you. Energy modeling and CFD analysis, we are doing it just as a checklist approach. When we did energy modeling, or now when we do energy modeling for the past 3 years, even in India, the architect is open to the idea to say that I will change my building form, I will have more openings here, I can do this, I can do that. So there is a strategic way of doing it, which is what Mr. Batra and Dr. Verma were talking about as well. That do this on your south side, do that on your north side, do this on your northeast side, do this on your roof. But there's a scientific way of doing it, which is running a dynamic simulation. So a lot of buildings, the way we've been able to reduce the installed capacity. So like Mr. Batra was talking about 540 square foot per ton, we've achieved even 1,080 square foot per ton.
Yeah.
So it sort of comes down to, and what again, Dr. Verma said, that it doesn't cost more to do sustainable. If you plan it right from the get-go, and if the architect is with you on board, you can design a building that doesn't cost you more money, but is more sustainable than anything out there. And my final point.
Agree, Akhil. I mean, it's more of a, I mean, if we can bring in the more collaborative approach of working as it's there in the Western countries, I think we can really make a lot of difference, right? Akhil, tell me, I mean, how about saving to resources? I mean, some tangible indicators you would like to point out?
Savings in terms of resources?
Yeah.
In terms of air conditioning, Mr. Batra has really hit the nail on its head. He's sort of, in terms of all the functional aspects, or at least the framework in which those functional aspects can be looked at. So energy modeling and CFD analysis, to be honest, I think, Pankaj Dharkar sir was also saying that the rating system needs to be extended. The rating system needs to be extended to look at efficiency of resources, even in terms of people that are operating the asset. So currently we are looking at CCTV analytics to be able to do. So efficiency of asset operation from both people and engineering. So, it's a sensitive thing. Engineering is purely economic. When it comes to people, it becomes socio-economic. So, collaboration takes another jump altogether when that happens.
Sure. Shama, taking it over to you. Thermal storage is gaining advocacy in our country.
Yeah.
How can it benefit in hospitals?
So, sir, I would first like to say that thermal storage on its own is a solution and not a product. So, it should be taken as a solution while thinking in any application you want to fit it in. Okay. And the second misconception which thermal storage holds is that it gets benefited only during off, when you can take benefit of TOD. Okay, but when you take thermal storage right from the inception of the design, that is one aspect of thermal storage. You can actually reduce the installed capacity of the chillers. You can reduce the installed capacity of the electricals, meaning your DG sets, your pumps, your cooling tower, because all these things are associated with your chillers. And all in all, it's a win-win situation. As Mr. Dharkar and Mr. Batra said, that there are also a lot of retrofit kind of options available now, because the old buildings are to be brought to newer levels of energy efficiency. In such modules, also thermal storage works really well, because then you are actually retrofitting the chiller because it has gone very old or has passed its age, including thermal storage, because then it will give a more energy efficient module to your building. What thermal storage actually does is, sir, is that it saves the energy in the balls, and it dissipates the energy when you need, or when you are in need of more energy than your installed chillers. Okay, so for example, if you have an installation of chillers of 500 TR, but at one level there is a requirement of maybe 600 TRs or 700 TR, then thermal storage peaks in. Or, as I told you, during TOD benefits, for example, this time of the day, your electricity is at this level, which means that you're charged at a higher level. That time you can switch off your chillers and bring the air conditioner through thermal storage, and this helps the whole building to come to a green building kind of a certification. The best thing about thermal storage, sir, is, as Batra sir also said, is that it works, well with most energy efficient chillers. The only thing is that because you're charging the thermal storage, you require chillers to work at minus or sub zero, because for that specific amount of time, you want to circulate the glycol through a closed loop system to charge the thermal storage. So it definitely does help to save energy and to reduce the energy bills of any property, including hospitals. Yeah.
Right. So, one other thing, heat pumps help hospitals become greener. Can you elaborate our delegates on four-pipe heat pump applications in hospitals?
Yes, sir. So earlier on, when we used to think about heating requirement in hospitals, there are usually two requirements. One is bathing or hot water for patients, and the other is to have hot air through AHUs to warm the building itself. So there are two applications of heat pumps specifically. Another application, also a very small type of application, is for their pantry. Okay. In a very traditional approach to any hospital properties, earlier in the maybe in 1980s, 90s, we have seen that they used to install boilers. Okay. So a typical kind of requirement of hot water in hospitals can be till 60 or 65 degrees outlet water temperature. 65 degrees basically where your pipelines are not very insulated. Typically, I have seen a requirement of 60 degrees outlet water temperature ranging very high. Okay. Now, when you talk about boilers fitted with diesel and heat pumps, when you compare, there is a lot of energy saving which can happen to a hospital bill. There are another undercover things which we can discuss, is that there are a lot of pilferages due to diesel purchased by hospital properties, which can be reduced. So actually, sir, when we do a case study between a boiler and a heat pump, and when we submit it to our customers, and when they have purchased and experienced the working of the heat pump, they have actually given us an appreciation certificate saying that they have saved more than what we had prescribed on the paper. The second best effect of the heat pump, sir, is that you get a byproduct of chilled water. So, for example, like what Mr. Batra said, in winters, when you require heat pump at the most for heating your room or your hot water requirement, you get a byproduct of chilled water which can be used to just cool down the property where the cooling is actually required. So these are actually two good effects of heat pump. And sir, wherever we have retrofitted heat pumps with boilers in hospital properties, they have actually appreciated to a different level, because they have also seen the breakdown of boilers. They have also seen the primitive use of boilers, and it is just easy to go one touch application. The heat pumps, they work really, really well. Yeah.
Thanks, Shama. I think that's a good insight. I mean, taking it forward from what you and Akhil mentioned, Akhil talked about bringing in smart. I mean, with very thin line between smart, technologically oriented buildings and the sustainable buildings, and what you spoke about using the technology and heat pumps and stuff like that. I would like to hear from Dr. Lalit Verma and Sanjay Batra ji, because they have been on the operation side also. Have they used any similar things in? Sorry, Akhil, you want to say something?
One thing, please, if I may.
Please.
I mean, there's something that even Dr. Vatan, Mr. Verma, especially with energy modeling and CFD analysis, they'll sort of get a sense of, is that mixed mode ventilation has become the new natural ventilation. Ventilation works 40% of the time, 60% of the time at best. Now, the networks that we are using, mixed mode ventilation, we are doing a couple of buildings, we are doing zero air conditioning, some amount of radiant cooling. But mixed mode ventilation is sort of when you talk about passive engineering, and if you do mixed mode, you can actually have non-air conditioning buildings also for the sake of argument.
So, I mean, taking it forward to Dr. Lalit Verma and Mr. Sanjay Batra, that have you used anything, similar to what Akhil talked about in terms of BIM and, as Shama spoke about various things for the projects in your hospital, I mean, for your projects, and what value does it bring to the hospital owner? I mean, if at all it brings any value.
See, the problem with the BIM, what we talk about is, I've been trying to get this into hospitals, I think for the past 15 years, but have been very unsuccessful. I have not been able to get it done. The main reason being, most of the architects don't have this in-house. They outsource it. And, as you're aware, the second name for hospital design is just change, nothing but change and change. So it keeps on changing. So the third-party vendor is not updated on the changes. That's the biggest challenge. Unless an architect brings BIM into his system, it's not going to really.
And have you ever tried to use it for facility management or something like that?
We tried. See, when you start having smart buildings, when you talk of all these kind of things, people also need to be updated. People are not updated. These things. That is the biggest challenge we are facing today. Is you may have the best of the system. The first building management system I introduced in the year 2000. It had literally everything, but then it did not succeed because the users were not with it. Were not comfortable with it.
How about Mr. Batra? What's been your experience on this?
Well, in projects, I tried using BIM, then we stopped it because it was getting too complex. People who we were working with, they were not comfortable. And as he rightly said, there are changes. I mean, changes galore. You don't know today, you're saying something else will change. So managing a hospital project is managing change. Because every now and then some wise guy will come and say, no, I want this there, I want that there. There goes your BIM. So we don't use it, we just get down to basic hard work. We have a deadline to meet and we meet. And in terms of heat pumps, I've used heat pumps all over the place. I just ordered 2 heat pumps on Shama. Right, Shama, have you supplied them yet or no?
No, So they are due in December. So they are all there now. Yeah.
Okay. So we have used heat pumps and started generating hot water from heat pumps rather than from boilers. Boilers, there is a problem because you have, unless you need steam, we don't use boilers. If you have a laundry, you have no choice. You have to have boilers. If you say that I'm going to outsource my laundry, I don't need a boiler, then forget hot water always comes from heat pumps at a much lower cost. So we, like in Patna, we said, no, we'll outsource the laundry, let's get heat pumps. We canceled the boilers and they're buying heat pumps. So heat pumps is pretty good.
So,
Gives you little of chill water as well, so it's okay.
So, Mr. Batra and Dr. Lalit, you both have been on the healthcare operator side for many years now, right? I mean, post occupancy, after 5 years of operations, what indicators can we use to decide if the green strategies have been successful or not? I mean, I know Mr. Batra did speak about the lighting loads and the air conditioning tonnage versus the area, but what are the indicators post 5 years of usage of the stuff, whether actually they paid off or not?
See, I tell you, one thing with the management, what we have observed, the moment, if you are having a new project, you have designed a green building, you have taken care of the entire energy efficiency. Then the pressure comes down on the maintenance people because, they are forced to reduce even further the electricity bill. And they don't have a choice. They can't do anything about it. Unless they switch off the systems, we do. One challenge with all applications is there is no follow-up. It's just a plaque on the wall. Unless a system is built in where there is regular monitoring, people are trying to submit their energy bills, submit their water consumption. It's really not going to make too much of sense.
But for
plaque
that,
on the wall, and after 3 years, you again renew it.
For that, we need to have the certification span validity reduced a little bit, which should become even more challenging to pay.
It should be monitored. It should, there should be submissions. Like if you go in for accreditation, you are supposed to, maintain documentation, do all the stuff here. It's not an IGBC. It's not the certification you get. IGBC still it is 3 years.
Sure.
You have to submit anything, whether you are following the systems or not. What is, checking you?
Great. How about what do you think, Mr. Batra?
I can tell you something. After the hospital is designed, green, gets operational, there are a lot of measures which are put into place during the first 5 years. You people who start operating it, they find, it depends. It depends on your management. If they are very particular about energy, I want my costs cut down, chief engineer is put under pressure, everybody, no, I've got to get some saving. This year you have to give me 10% saving. The moment that kind of pressure comes, you see, they go beyond your LEED certification, go beyond your ratings. They find such things which we have missed out. And I have seen it in Vedanta and Gurgaon. We have, over the years, periodically added this little bit, we keep adding, and then you find, well, we should have considered it in the beginning. So it all depends. If there's a pressure from the top, I want 10% saving this year, I don't care. You guys find the way, then you see what happens. Then everybody works on it and follows up and comes out with things which were missed out. That's what I'm saying.
So, as a last question, I would open it to the house, for everyone to kind of respond to this. And it is, what is that one piece of practical advice you would give to someone starting out with a new project, new venture? And I'm saying it from the operator's standpoint, from the building owner's standpoint.
Building owners, they should decide first what they want. They all start with a project without knowing exactly what they want. So they keep on making changes as they go along.
Dr. Verma and Mr. Batra, I mean, one thing loud and clear message which is coming out of you is about the changes, right? Yeah, please continue.
So, that's the only one thing which, the owner should do, decide, think about it, spend some time over it, debate over it, involve everybody and decide, and then don't change.
It will automatically
That's
become
only way.
smart sustainable, right?
I'll tell you, I have seen 1.5 to 4% of the project cost is spent on changes in hospitals. This is my experience of the last 25 years.
Good.
It's a huge amount of money, it's huge resources which are wasted. And then when we talk of sustainability, this impact is there. It's just debris you're generating.
Over to Akhil. Yeah, you want to say something, right?
I'd say don't do anything without energy modeling and CFD analysis. Mixed mode ventilation is the new future. Think of smart, can't implement it. During execution, BIM, it's a myth, it's difficult. We do all projects and all projects change. It's not a unique thing in India. Literally, as a consultant, we have to respectfully accept change. But BIM with Kobe still can be done. And final nail on the head, smart. What we're talking about an operational asset, if you've got a smart system managing it, and it's not IBMS, mind you, it's not about dashboard diarrhea, it's about less is more and actionable intelligence. So that's from me.
Mr. Batra, what is your views on this?
Well, I told you, Vim, I tried using it, but then I gave up. So I said, all right, we've got a deadline to meet. These changes are happening. Come on, let's go ahead and do it.
In 10 months was done with BIM and changes, I'll tell you that. We even changed the bloody the reactor, your cyclotron positions 3 times while the construction was going on. So again, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt.
How about you, Dr. Rana?
Thank you so much. And I think Verma Sahab has said the very basic principles. The owner should know what he or she is looking for. And I think if someone is constructing a building for whatever purpose, particularly healthcare, they should keep everything in mind. And I think now the standards are available. You have building standards, construction, you have green rating standards, you have accreditation standards. So I think all these resources should be used, concerned and consulted, and then make a plan. Whether you apply for certification rating or you apply for accreditation, that is your decision at the later stage, that you can choose at a time. But at least make use of that resources and the information available to make it better and better. So I think my message would be that one should consult the standards available for the best purposes, and then make use of things to make what you want to make your dream realized. Thank you so much.
What do you think, Shama? What is your one piece of advice?
Manuji, I would just sum it up in a way that now we should use more energy efficient equipments which are actually equipped with VFD. So chillers and heat pumps both come with VFDs now. Also, as Mr. Batra has advised, that a separate installation to be done for OTs. We have actually done separate installation for OTs for a chain of hospitals called Kailash Hospitals in Delhi, and they have been extremely successful with our air-cooled scroll system, again equipped with VFDs. And I don't know, thermal storage is a piece of advice when it is coming from inception, for sure. I would also say that now a lot of ESCO, like Mr. Dhakkar, initially in his discussion has initiated that a lot of ESCO companies have also come, where KEHEMS is also part of ESCO, BEE accredited, where added on advantages can be taken in a way that if any hospital property does not have a lot of capital to invest in one go, this capital investment can be spread over the 3 years, where they can pay in bits and take advantage of chillers and heat pumps from the first day. So, such schemes are now available, and people should start taking advantage of all the things which are readily available to them. One, take a very good machine with VFD, and two, make sure that their capital investment maybe is spread over years so that they don't experience the burnt right from the start.
Great, great. Thanks a lot.
One small thing. We are all talking of VFDs. I just want to leave a little warning on VFDs. In hospital, the equipments are very sensitive,
Yes.
and VFDs, they generate a lot of harmonics. And you get harmonics in your electrical system, and all your various measuring devices in the ICU start malfunctioning. The harmonics, see, even in the chillers we have a harmonic filter, but when you put in VFDs, you have to separately put in your system harmonic filters. Otherwise, your ICU, all your readings will coming all wrong, and suddenly you'll say the patient this, that. It's all harmonics. So be very
Absolutely.
careful in hospitals. If you have VFDs, you have to add filters for harmonics. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Fabulous.
I think I would like to second Dr. Verma and Mr. Batra. I mean, Akhil, I'm sorry, but using BIM, I totally kind of agree with them. I mean, not only, I mean, it's complex to use that with developers here. I mean, even if you're doing housing projects, I mean, putting it over on a healthcare project is like, I mean, most of the owners would restrict
No.
yourself to the basements where the coordination and all is required, and they say, okay, fine, we are done.
So I don't think of BIM as 3D modeling.
No, I'm
3D
talking about 4D and 5D.
Kobe. It's the
Yeah.
data structure that you feed. You don't need a 3D model. Currently, we're doing 3 crore square feet of BIM without a 3D model, which is just generating the Kobe's. So I understand where you're coming from. The whole world is facing this problem. We're Indians. We master IT, and BIM is the IT of construction. We're going to kill it like nobody else. I promise you that.
Great. So I think it's been a wonderful session. I mean, I think we all have benefited out of hearing from all the subject matter experts. Neeraj, any questions from the audience or anything you would?
I think, we are almost covering our time. So I would like to extend my. I'll try to summarize what all the speakers have told. I mean, it was a wonderful discussion, and we are conducting so many conferences during these 7 days. But this conference is specifically on very technical aspects of how we can design and develop green healthcare systems. So first of all, I would like to extend my congratulations to Sanjay Batra ji. I mean, during his speech, he clearly mentioned that what all features we should take care while we are designing the green hospitals. So started with the building orientation. He specifically mentioned that what he is maintaining in his building is 2.8 watt per square feet electricity consumption and 540 square feet per ton air conditioning load. What he is maintaining, and these two figures are excellent, sir. You mentioned that putting roof insulation, paint on roof, and other so many what should I say, green good deeds you mentioned, with which we can design green hospital buildings. And Dr. Lalit, you are absolutely right, sir. Answer to your question, answer to your point, I would like to add here that there are so many green certification programs in India running since last 20 years. But since then, there are hardly 7,000 registered buildings for green building certification and hardly 2,500 certified green buildings. So, this number is hardly nothing. This number is less than 1% of, the buildings being constructed in India. So, definitely these green building rating programs are not so much popular because of these reasons you have mentioned, sir, that these are just the plaque and certificate on the wall, and nobody bothers once this certification is given. And that is why we are coming up with a command center where we will be monitoring the electricity consumption, water consumption, air quality, and fire status of your building. We have started with just 4 points. We will be monitoring the electrical consumption, water consumption, fire status, and the air quality of your building, what we are certifying live in our command center. You the intimations messages also for that purpose. So I mean, we are working on this, and we have started this for the experimental purpose. And if it goes well, we will implement it in all our green certified projects. So and as mentioned by Batraji, that it depends upon the management, how management takes it. So if they push you to achieve more savings in a year, so the entire team works on that. I mean, we can take the example of ITC, where the technical team is given the target to save 3 to 4% electricity every year, and they work very hard. At many places they replace the chillers, they replace the equipment, they implement energy efficiency measures to achieve those targets. So I mean, thank you so much, and Rana Saab, you're absolutely right. It's not a job of one organization. I mean, as I mentioned, there are so many green building certification program, and still there are very less green certified buildings. So I think it is a need where ASSOCHAM, CII, FICCI, and such organizations. I mean, we have a membership of 450,000 industries with us. So if we promote something, it goes to at least 4 lakh industries. So I think there is a lack of awareness and education, and where such organizations definitely contribute, and that's why we have started this green building certification program to complement this movement of India. So it's a wonderful thing. And Akhil, your debate on BIM is still open. We will discuss it later on also. Thank you, Shamaji. I mean, you have literally mentioned that why thermal energy storages are better, because it reduces the installed capacity of chillers as well as the electrical equipment. It's a true thing. I mean, when I was a consultant also, I mean, we had this debate with our clients all the time that you should install TS, and they say no. What is the use of TS? Because it is applicable and beneficial where we have. So it's a good debate. And as you mentioned, heat pumps are definitely better than boilers. Boilers are required where steam is required. So heat pump is definitely a good thing. So it's a wonderful session, and at least I have learned a lot from this session. So thank you so much, dear eminent speakers, to join us for this wonderful session. Thank you so much, and please be in touch. Keep in touch. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks to everyone
Thank
for
you.
the time. Appreciate much. Thanks.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Bye-bye.
Bye
Please
bye.
take care. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Karan, please close the session.